discussion and consideration regarding authorization to negotiate a disposition and development agreement with Catellus Development Corporation on their proposal for redevelopment of a portion of the San Pablo Adeline Triangle. Patrick O'Keefe and Mary Ann Lachine.
I'll give a very brief staff report on this given the lateness of the hour. Previously, you reviewed this project in concept and directed staff to proceed with it. At your last meeting, you adopted a resolution authorizing us to start appraisals and a relocation study. And so the purpose of tonight's meeting is to consider a potential developer to undertake the project, which would consist of the Ritz Hotel, Sands Hotel, and the AC right-of-way, which is now no longer used. About the time that I came aboard, I began talking with Catellus about their larger 200-unit project, and you had directed staff to start working on this one, and so I threw the challenge at them along the lines of, since you guys own the center and you have a major stake in the area, and since you're going to be in town anyway trying to develop the larger housing project, would you be interested in undertaking this one at the same time? And they have responded affirmatively to that, and that's the nature of the letter that was attached to your staff report, and a representative of Catellus is here to go into that in detail if you care.
Could I hear?
What is the pleasure of the agency members? Would they like to hear from
I sure would.
Catellus? Would you step forward, please?
We've only made them wait about 4 hours. After what we've just gone through, I'm a little embarrassed to be talking about this little box user, but we believe it's important to the city as well. As Pat has indicated, and as you're well aware, we've been working on the 200-unit project and have begun to really focus on the work that we have begun with the East Bay Bridge Retail Center, which has been obviously the focus of a lot of discussion tonight as well. We don't believe that the work is done. The Ritz Hotel has been a problem in terms of crime and security issues within the center. So that's certainly one of the interests we have. The second interest is that I do come from an urban housing background, and that is my charge within Catellus, is to begin to focus seriously on urban renewal and urban redevelopment. And this is obviously a key project. It's one of the gateways to the city, and for that reason we're also interested. I won't go into a long presentation.
Thank you.
Basically, we see this, our initial concept is that it's a seniors project. Proximity to retail, proximity to AC Transit and the Emeryville round are critical, and given the fact that the Ritz Hotel naturally configures into small units, we see that as being a clear alternative that we would like to explore. The Sands is a little bit different, and we will look at a couple of different alternatives there, because we will have some relocation issues that will have to be addressed, and Pat's working with the relocation consultant right now to focus on what those issues are. We believe the community development process will be important to this, and we would suggest a citizens advisory committee, which is in the letter that's attached to your report, that would include some active members of the senior committee, community, at least one member of your housing committee, staff, our development team, and one or two at-large community members. And then we also refer to a concept that I've used in San Diego called Youth Build, where we take at-risk youth and employ them on site in the rehabilitation process. And we're prepared to work with our contractor here, similar to the way that we've worked in San Diego very successfully in really turning around the lives of 8 individuals in San Diego, and we'd like to explore that concept here. We believe that's important. We're talking about community development, and so we want to involve the community, the seniors, as well as on the construction side with the youth build concept. The project team, we're in a very preliminary stage, but we would propose joint venturing with a nonprofit who's experienced in seniors housing, and there are 4 or 5 different groups that will be, if you approve the resolution, we would talk to, and we would work closely with staff on that issue as well. There's a number of challenges that are before us, and we have not begun to address those. Parking is an issue, relocation is an issue, ground serving, neighborhood serving retail is an issue, which we also would like to incorporate. We did have a number of smaller retail users that could not be accommodated in the big box, and so we would reopen discussions we had with them. So without spending any further time, we're very preliminary, but it's a project that we're excited about, and I personally offer my commitment to that effort, as I've said to you before, on the larger East Bay Ridge project.
Thank you. Any members of the council? Is there a second to...
Second?
I'd just like to say one thing, Patrick. On the very first or second meeting you came in, we hit you with this whole idea of that triangle near the star intersection, and I, for one, am just overwhelmed that you've been able to pull together a response that makes so much sense in this particular area, and we look forward to something really good happening there.
I want to comment that I think your proposal was excellent, and on the Alameda County Lead Board, which I'm on, we're working with some at-risk youth, so I might be able to help you find some people to fill that gap. And I'm very glad to see the Ritz is going to turn into a senior project.
Patrick, just out of concern and kind of keeping an eye on it, the Allied Housing project, we're not talking about that at all.
No, this is to the south of that one, so
No,
that's a separate...
I know where it is. I just want to be sure that we're not messing with that in any way here. All right, thank you.
That'll come back to you later.
Yeah.
Call the question, please.
Agency Member Bukowski.
Aye.
Harper.
Aye.